Strength training for endurance athletes can be very confusing. How many sets, how many reps, do you do body weight, do you do equipment, do you use kettlebells, stability balls, medicine balls, Bosu balls, do you use a TRX, straps, bands, cables, dumbbells, machines? Wow, there's a lot involved when it comes to strength training. So today I wanted to kind of break it down and what equipment I like to use at different phases of the training plan. So anytime I or an athlete that I coach is going to start a strength training program, they start with the stability and mobility phase. They're specifically working on core strength, which is between their hips and their shoulders, and they're working on mobility of their hips and usually strengthening that weak glute medius right here. Whether you're a runner, cyclist, triathlete, or swimmer, chances are high that you're weak in your glute medius. So I like to do primarily body weight movements in the beginning, a little bit more endurance-based movements so we can work on form and execution. I also recommend, if you're new to strength training, even if you're not, you should go to a physical therapist or some other expert who can do a functional movement screening on you to see the areas of your body that you're weak, and they can help you improve your posture, improve your balance, improve whatever weakness you have, and help you build your weakness up to your strength. So with regards to equipment, first and foremost, the number one, if you can't afford anything else, number one thing I recommend is a foam roller. I like this one. It has bumps. It gets a little bit deeper in my body when I'm rolling, but the foam roller can help work on mobility, flexibility, as well as mobility, not as well as, but really mobility in your thoracic spine, mobility in your shoulders, mobility in your hips, just by rolling on the foam roller, and it just feels really good. So this is the first piece of equipment I recommend. Next, I like to have a stability ball. There's a lot of things you can do with a stability ball with your body weight, including like hamstring curls, knee tucks, push-ups, a little bit more dynamic, flutter kicks. Just kind of sitting on the ball at your desk is a great way to work a little bit more on balance and stability. So a stability ball, there's a lot of things you can do with it. The next piece of equipment I happen to have is a Bosu ball. You can do a lot of balance standing on the Bosu ball, whether you stand on it this side or this side. And you can do a lot of one-legged exercises if you're ready for that, but it's working on stability in your ankle, which I think is very neglected for endurance athletes, is to work on that stability, especially if you're a runner. Again, you can flip it over under. You can use the Bosu ball in combination with the stability ball. Again, there's a lot of movements that you start out with, learning execution with body weight only, and then the equipment helps you advance the movement without having to necessarily go to a gym. This is stuff that you can use at home. I love my TRX. I've had my TRX for 10 years. It's 10 years old. I love my TRX. I hang it from a pull-up bar between my kitchen and living room. It has a couple straps. Again, it's all about core functional strength training. You can do a total body workout on the TRX. Dave Erickson has videos, not thousands, but lots of videos on the Endurance Hour YouTube channel that he's demonstrating how to properly use a TRX. When I'm just starting out, again, if you're very new, before you do a TRX, doing movements with stretch cords or stretch bands, they not only can help with strength movements, but I've also done a series of exercises where you can work on swim technique with the use of resistance bands. This is a TheraBand. This is a SPRI band. So there's a lot of variety of bands you can use. I think, again, it's a very inexpensive way to provide some resistance training. And again, in that stability mobility phase, it doesn't take much. I also, as a bonus, I have this parallel. I actually have a set of parallettes that I like to use. It's just a more advanced piece of equipment that I like to do some core movements with. So that's basically it. I don't own a kettlebell. I do own a set of 10-pound dumbbells, but that's it. I don't have any machines. I don't have any cables in my house. This is all for home. So then going on to phase 2, when you're working on maximum strength, the best way to work on maximum strength is first to provide your body with stability and mobility, advance to maximum strength. That's where you want to lift heavy objects, and that's where I prefer to go in the weight room at my gym and lift very heavy. I'm talking like 3 to 4 sets of 5 to 8 repetitions. So it's very heavy weight, and if you don't have access to a gym, try to lift heavy objects around their house. There's a lot of things you can do with just holding on to 2 heavy objects, like a bag of potatoes, a jug of water, whatever you want. There's just a lot of things you can use. A box or a jug of laundry detergent is a heavy object. So you can do movements that you would do with dumbbells just by holding on heavy objects, and that's going to build up that maximum strength phase. Then moving on to phase 3 is the power phase, where once you've developed that strength, you can move on to more plyometric type of exercises, where now it's more into the lighter resistance but more explosive movements, jumping movements, stepping up on boxes, jumping up on boxes, doing a lot more faster type of repetition. So you can take the movements you did in the maximum strength phase and just move faster with lighter weight and work on power. And then the 4th phase is the strength maintenance phase. That's usually when you're in your race season, you're actually racing, and you just want to maintain that strength and power you gained. So you go more or less back to what you were doing in stability and mobility. That's also, stability and mobilities is also an injury prevention type of program.